Young and the Restless. Kane's ruthless ploy blindsides Phyllis. Epic betrayal ignites? Young and the Restless exposes Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, and Phyllis Summers' Michelle Stafford, getting very close, getting intimate, and they don't appear to be slowing down. If anything, they're picking up speed. But does Kane have an agenda that he's working when it comes to Phyllis? We're going to talk about how Kane may be tricking Phyllis and setting her up for one heck of a blindside that she kind of deserves. Young and the Restless. Phyllis finally gets her claws into Kane. Right now, Kane and Phyllis are getting hot and heavy, and they really seem to be hitting it off. They're getting very close. Kane and Phyllis spending a lot of time together hanging out, and they've been hitting the sheets. As of now, Phyllis seems really happy and really into Kane. I mean, she even played nice at Danny Romalotti, Michael Damian, and Christine Cricket Blair's, Laura Lee Bell, wedding and gave a classy toast instead of sabotaging the bride, which is what we would expect. So, things seem to be going really well. But there are some red flags that suggest Kane may be playing Phyllis and distracting her with hot sex and attention, and Damian isn't really into her. Instead, he may be setting up Phyllis to take a big fall in revenge for her stealing his AI and giving it to Victor Newman, Eric Braden, who is now using it against Kane and Arabesque. Red flag number 1. Kane's suspicious confession to Lily on YandR. The first red flag is Kane told Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, the other day that he's working an angle against Phyllis. You may recall Lily walked into society, and she saw Kane and Phyllis's first kiss. And Lily was annoyed and said she didn't even want to know what she just saw. So Kane insisted to Lily that he was working an angle. And at first, I wasn't sure if he really meant it. But now I'm starting to think that Damian told Lily the truth. It could be that Kane is working Phyllis to get her trust and get her to let down her guard. And then he can strike. Red flag number 2. From intimacy to hacking. The second red flag is right after Kane slept with Phyllis for the first time. I mean minutes after, while she went to shower, Kane was trying to get into Phyllis's computer. It went straight from sex to hacking. Kane said since Phyllis messed with his system, then he was going to mess with hers. But Phyllis called out to him to come get in the shower with her. And then later she confronted Kane for trying to figure out the password for her computer. And Phyllis even then told Damian her password, but said she was going to change it before he'd ever have the chance to use it. So she was taunting him on Young and the Restless. Red flag number 3. The stolen AI and Kane's thirst for payback on Young and the Restless. The third red flag is Kane knows Phyllis stole his AI. He actually knew right away. Even though Kane told Phyllis he suspected it could have been Victor. And I'm sure Kane wants payback. I mean, how could he not? He has figured out that Phyllis stole it and took it to Victor. So Phyllis did a treacherous thing by stealing Kane's AI and giving it to Victor as part of a dirty deal. And the original plan was that he would use it for something else. But instead, the mustache Kane's company Arabesque. That was never part of his deal with Phyllis. And that is something that Kane wanted to give to his and Lily's kids one day. And I just can't see Kane letting Phyllis get away with stealing his AI. It's bizarre that Kane is romancing Phyllis like it's no big deal, and everything is fine. That's another reason to be suspicious. I suspect Kane is working an agenda to undo what Phyllis did and make her pay for stealing his AI and all this mess that she has created because she just wants payback on a lot of people. She's just not a happy person. Red flag number 4. A web of lies and deception on YandR. So that brings us to the fourth red flag, that Phyllis is lying right to Kane's face. So he has no reason not to return the favor. Phyllis been lying constantly about not stealing the AI, and we know she did. Kane knows she did. So he is lying right to her face and letting Phyllis think that he is genuinely into her and wants to be with her. But I think Damian is planning and plotting to get the AI back, so he and Lily can bond over destroying it, because Kane's really hoping doing that will win brownie points with Lily, and she'll take him back. And I expect he would drop Phyllis like a hot potato if Lily crooked her finger at him. Now, I'm sure that Damian is physically attracted to Phyllis, but I think his need for revenge on her for stealing his AI and it getting turned around on him is bigger. Plus, Kane's desire to get Lily back is stronger than any attraction I think Kane may be feeling for Phyllis. So, I'm pretty sure that any potential that Kane and Phyllis might have had was tainted when she stole and lied to Kane and took his AI to Victor, and he turned it around on Kane. Red flag number 5. Kane's unwavering devotion to Lily. The fifth and final reason that I actually think he's tricking Phyllis is that when Lily has been rejecting him, Kane's been taking it hard, and he continues to go back to her because Lily is Kane's person. We all know that they've been in love since she was very young. The old Kane played by Daniel Goddard was much older than Lily, but then they kind of changed that around when they recast with a younger actor who is close to the same age as Crystal Khalil. Bottom line is that Kane has loved Lily for years, but Kane needs to use Phyllis to sort out the AI stuff and destroy it so he can prove himself to Lily. I don't think Kane ever going to stop fighting for Lily and for a relationship with their kids. So, this likely plays out with Kane stringing Phyllis along while Crystal Khalil is out on maternity leave, which means they're going to say that Lily left town to be with their kids, or something like that. The ultimate betrayal. Setting the stage for revenge on Young and the Restless. Of course, there is a risk that Kane might get into his feels for Phyllis, maybe a little, but I don't think it's going to be bigger than his feelings that he has for Lily. So, I think Kane still wants to make Phyllis pay for stealing the AI, and he needs it back so he can destroy it and prove himself to Lily. So, I think after Kane fixes everything, he'll yank the rug out from under Phyllis like she did when she stole his AI. But first, Kane has to save Arabesque and shut down Victor. And Kane can't do that if he's also fighting with Phyllis. Kane can't afford to have Phyllis hating him right now. Fighting both of them is just too much. I mean, Phyllis stole the AI when she and Kane were supposedly friends. Can you imagine what Phyllis would do to Kane if they were enemies? We know how ruthless and unhinged Phyllis is when she feels betrayed and she's out for vengeance. So, I suspect Kane is biding his time until he can deal with the AI threat to his company. By the time that happens, Lily may be back after Crystal Khalil's maternity leave is over. So then if all goes as planned, Kane can tell Lily he destroyed the AI, or he can let her destroy it with him. And then Kane may dump Phyllis in a brutal way to punish her for stealing from him. And Kane may think he can do all that and get his happily ever after with Lily. But I wouldn't bet on it because Phyllis as a woman scorned is absolutely terrifying. Once again on the brink of chaos, as the Young and the Restless unleashes a shocking twist that has fans gasping. Kane Ashby, the usually level-headed and charming businessman, has thrown everyone for a loop with a move so ruthless it could forever alter his relationships, particularly with Phyllis Summers. What started as subtle manipulations and corporate maneuvering has escalated into a full-blown betrayal that may have lasting repercussions for the powerful Newman-Ashby dynamic. It all began with Kane's careful positioning at Chancellor Industries. While the world assumed he was simply protecting the interests of the company and its stakeholders, insiders reveal that Kane had a much more personal motive. Phyllis, ever the devoted partner, trusted Kane implicitly, believing that his strategic moves were always in alignment with her, and by extension her family's best interests. But behind Kane's calm and calculating exterior, a storm was brewing. The first hints of Kane's audacious plan came when he quietly started leveraging confidential information about Phyllis's business dealings. While Phyllis was occupied with expanding her own ventures and managing the day-to-day chaos of the Newman Empire, Kane meticulously orchestrated a series of maneuvers that, on the surface, appeared entirely routine. He presented them as mutually beneficial business decisions. However, sources close to the storyline suggest that Kane's real goal was to secure an upper hand in a way that Phyllis would never anticipate, effectively blindsiding her and consolidating power for himself. This ruthlessness reached its climax at a high-stakes board meeting that has fans buzzing across social media. Reports indicate that Kane strategically influenced key votes and quietly swayed stakeholders to his side, all while maintaining the illusion of partnership with Phyllis. The moment of betrayal came when a deal critical to Phyllis's own ambitions was quietly sabotaged by Kane's careful manipulations. Executives who had trusted Phyllis were suddenly aligned with Kane, leaving her shocked, humiliated, and questioning every move she had made. Phyllis's reaction was immediate and visceral. Known for her sharp mind and strategic prowess, she didn't simply sit back and take the betrayal. Sources close to the show hint that a dramatic confrontation is brewing, one that may expose Kane's motivations in full and ignite a feud that could fracture alliances across Genoa City. Phyllis, feeling both betrayed and cornered, is expected to leverage her own network of allies to retaliate, a move that could escalate the conflict into uncharted territory. Adding fuel to the fire, Kane's actions have broader implications beyond the boardroom. His personal relationships are now at stake, as Phyllis begins to question whether Kane's loyalty to her, or to the Newman family, is genuine. In recent episodes, viewers have seen subtle cracks in their relationship. Tense silences at home, pointed remarks during family gatherings, and increasingly suspicious glances. Kane's cold, calculated demeanor has made it clear that he is playing a high-stakes game, and Phyllis is beginning to realize that she may be a pawn in his strategic maneuvers. Fans are particularly captivated by the emotional dimension of this storyline. Kane's betrayal isn't just professional, it's deeply personal. The juxtaposition of his charm and ruthlessness adds layers to his character, making the fallout even more compelling. Social media discussions are abuzz with speculation about whether Phyllis will forgive Kane, confront him publicly, or use his own tactics against him. The tension is palpable, and the audience is split. Some sympathize with Phyllis's shock and heartbreak, while others admire Kane's cunning and strategic brilliance. Adding complexity to this saga, other Genoa City residents are already sensing the shift in power. Jack Abbott, ever the opportunist, is rumored to be watching Kane's moves closely, possibly seeking to exploit the rift for his own gain. Similarly, Victoria Newman may see this as an opportunity to assert control over aspects of the Newman empire that Kane has quietly been encroaching upon. The ripple effects of Kane's betrayal extend far beyond his immediate circle, setting the stage for a multi-layered conflict that could dominate storylines for weeks. So, what drove Kane to such a ruthless decision? Sources suggest it may be a combination of ambition, pressure, and personal vendettas. Kane has always been portrayed as a man who values strategy and foresight, but this latest plotline reveals a darker side. A willingness to prioritize his objectives over loyalty and trust. Whether this is a permanent shift in his character or a temporary lapse influenced by high-stakes pressures remains to be seen, but it has undeniably changed the dynamics of his relationship with Phyllis. Phyllis, for her part, is expected to respond with both intelligence and emotion. Known for her resourcefulness, she is unlikely to retreat quietly. Insider reports tease a series of retaliatory moves that could put Kane on the defensive, expose hidden secrets, and even involve allies who have long been underestimated. The anticipation is building as viewers await the moment when Phyllis finally confronts Kane, not just about the boardroom betrayal, but about the personal deception that has shaken her to her core. The stakes are heightened by the backdrop of family loyalty and business power struggles. In Genoa City, where personal and professional lives are deeply intertwined, Kane's calculated betrayal is not just a shock. It's a seismic event that could reshape alliances, redefine loyalties, and create explosive confrontations. The storyline promises a rich tapestry of drama, emotion, and high-stakes intrigue, keeping fans glued to their screens and social media abuzz with speculation. Moreover, Kane's ruthless ploy may have long-term consequences that extend beyond immediate payback. By undermining Phyllis, he risks alienating allies and exposing vulnerabilities that other Genoa City players could exploit. The tension between ambition and loyalty, trust and betrayal, love and strategy, is at the heart of this storyline, making it one of the most captivating arcs in recent memory. Ultimately, The Young and the Restless has delivered yet another epic betrayal that promises to ignite drama across the city. Kane's move against Phyllis is a bold, audacious strategy that highlights his ambition, intelligence, and moral complexity. For Phyllis, the shock of betrayal is coupled with a determination to fight back, setting the stage for one of the most compelling confrontations in the show's history. As the dust settles and the repercussions unfold, fans are left wondering, will Phyllis exact revenge on Kane and reclaim her power? Or will Kane's ruthless strategy pay off, cementing his place as a formidable force in Genoa City's cutthroat world? One thing is certain, betrayal, heartbreak, and high-stakes drama are guaranteed, and viewers will be riveted as this explosive saga continues to unfold on The Young and the Restless. In Genoa City, trust is fragile, ambition is relentless, and even the closest allies can become the most shocking enemies. Kane's betrayal of Phyllis is proof that in this world, nothing is as it seems, and the fallout will be felt for weeks, perhaps even months. Is no stranger to scheming, betrayal, and romance gone horribly wrong, but The Young and the Restless has taken things to a whole new level with the latest twist. Phyllis Summers has finally set her sights on Kane Ashby, and fans are buzzing over what could happen next. For years, Phyllis has been the queen of manipulation, using charm, cunning, and occasionally heartbreak to get exactly what she wants. Now Kane, the charming, stoic, and often morally upright businessman, has unwittingly stepped into her web, and no one is quite sure how he'll get out. The tension started quietly, as all great Genoa City dramas do. Kane has been dealing with the fallout from his complicated past with Lily, who recently found herself on a roller coaster of emotions involving both her children and her business empire. Kane, ever the peacemaker, tried to focus on his career, keeping a professional distance from anyone who might complicate his life, particularly someone like Phyllis. But Phyllis isn't just anyone. For months, she has been appearing in Kane's orbit under the guise of casual encounters. At first, it was small gestures. Helping him at a charity gala, dropping by Crimson Lights to run into him, and offering unsolicited business advice in her soft, persuasive tone. Kane, trusting as ever, barely noticed the subtle game being played. But viewers could see it from miles away. Phyllis was laying the groundwork for her ultimate move. The first real spark came at a Genoa City social event hosted by none other than Victor Newman himself. Kane, ever polite, tried to navigate the high-stakes mingling while managing multiple business negotiations. Phyllis, dressed in a jaw-dropping red dress, approached him under the pretense of a casual chat about his latest business venture. Her smile was innocent enough, but the glint in her eye told a very different story. "You're working too hard, Kane," she said softly, leaning in just enough to make him feel the warmth of her presence. "Don't you ever take a moment for yourself?" Kane, slightly flustered but trying to remain composed, chuckled. "I do my best, but I have a lot on my plate right now." Phyllis tilted her head, her voice dropping to a whisper. "Maybe someone should help lighten that load. You know, a partner." It was a simple line, but it carried weight, and Kane, ever the gentleman, felt a flicker of something he hadn't expected. What he didn't realize was that Phyllis had already started playing him like a finely tuned piano. Every word, every gesture, every well-timed laugh was part of a meticulous plan to get him under her influence. The turning point came during a private business meeting at the Newman Enterprises offices. Kane was reviewing contracts with Victoria and Billy when Phyllis popped in, claiming she had urgent information about a potential investor. Kane, never one to refuse help in a crisis, let her join the discussion. What started as innocent collaboration quickly turned into a high-stakes chess game. Phyllis subtly undermined Kane's competitors while praising him at every turn, making him feel not only competent but admired. A dangerous combination when dealing with someone like Phyllis. But the real drama unfolded after the meeting. Kane offered to walk Phyllis to her car, a simple courtesy, but one that gave Phyllis exactly the opportunity she needed. Under the dim glow of the parking lot lights, she turned to him with that familiar, calculating smile. "You know, Kane," she began, voice soft and almost conspiratorial, "I think we make a really good team. Don't you?" Kane, caught off guard, paused. I suppose so. You have a knack for seeing the details I sometimes miss." Phyllis leaned closer, her hand brushing his in a gesture that seemed accidental, but was anything but. "Maybe we could explore that synergy more," she murmured, her tone laced with seduction. Kane's usually steady demeanor faltered. For the first time in a long time, he felt the pull of temptation, and the audience could practically see the internal struggle playing out across his face. He knew he shouldn't, he's loyal, moral, and wary of Phyllis's history. Yet he couldn't deny the chemistry, the magnetic pull she had always seemed to command. Over the following days, Phyllis intensified her efforts. Casual lunches became longer dinners. Business consultations turned into private conversations. Every encounter was designed to make Kane feel that he couldn't function without her guidance. Phyllis even orchestrated a situation where Lily, distracted by her own personal drama, wouldn't interfere. A masterstroke of timing that only amplified Kane's vulnerability. What makes this storyline so compelling isn't just the romance or the scheming. It's the psychological battle at play. Kane, who prides himself on rational decision-making, is facing a challenge unlike any before. Phyllis isn't just trying to seduce him. She's trying to rewrite his sense of loyalty, trust, and self-perception. And the fans are loving every moment of it. Social media is abuzz with theories. Will Kane fall completely under her spell? Will Lily intervene just in time? Or will Kane outsmart Phyllis and turn the tables? Meanwhile, Phyllis is reveling in the thrill of the chase. For her, Kane represents more than just a conquest. He's a puzzle, a prize, and a testament to her cunning. Unlike some of her past schemes, this isn't about revenge or financial gain, at least not entirely. There's an emotional intensity here that even Phyllis herself seems to enjoy. Watching Kane squirm, watching him question his own impulses, brings out the very best and worst in her. The manipulator and the seductress, all in one. The chemistry is undeniable. Scenes of Phyllis and Kane alone together are charged with tension, every glance, every touch, every carefully measured word dripping with potential energy. The audience can feel the slow burn, the anticipation building with every passing episode. And if the writers play their cards right, this isn't just a temporary dalliance. This could become one of Genoa City's most talked-about storylines in years. Of course, no Phyllis Summers plot is complete without complications. Enter Victor, Lily, and possibly even some unseen business adversaries, each with their own motives for either sabotaging or exploiting this new alliance. The stakes couldn't be higher. Kane's reputation, his relationships, and perhaps even his future in Genoa City are all hanging by a thread, and Phyllis is holding the scissors. In true soap opera fashion, the payoff promises to be dramatic. Whether it ends in heartbreak, betrayal, or a shocking twist no one saw coming, one thing is clear. Phyllis Summers has finally gotten Kane exactly where she wants him. And Genoa City will never be the same. The question now is, will Kane resist the siren call of Phyllis, or is he about to become the latest victim of her legendary manipulative prowess? Whatever happens, fans can expect fireworks, emotional twists, and a level of intrigue that only the young and the restless can deliver. One thing is certain, Phyllis has her claws in Kane, and there's no turning back. Buzzing with tension, and no one felt it more than Lily Winters. The normally poised and sharp-minded heiress had found herself in an emotional whirlwind that threatened to turn her world upside down. It all began with Kane Ashby, her husband, or at least the man she thought she knew. The one who had been her partner in love, business, and family for years. But the Kane she had married seemed suddenly different, distant, and haunted by a secret he wasn't ready to share. The day started innocuously enough at Crimson Lights. Lily had arranged a quiet morning for herself, a rare moment of peace before her obligations at Newman Enterprises demanded her attention. She sipped her latte while reviewing the latest marketing projections, but the calm of the cafe was shattered when Kane walked in, his expression unreadable, his eyes avoiding hers. There was something off about him. Lily noticed immediately. "Kane, you okay?" she asked, setting her papers aside. He hesitated, his jaw tightening as he sat down across from her. "Lily, we need to talk," he said, his voice low, almost tense. That simple declaration sent a chill down Lily's spine. Kane's tone was serious, too serious for a morning chat. "Talk about what?" she asked cautiously, studying his face for any hint of reassurance. But Kane's gaze was clouded, distant, as though he were battling invisible demons. Kane leaned in, lowering his voice. "It's about business and family. And something else." Lily's heart skipped a beat. "Something else? What could he possibly mean?" "You're scaring me, Kane. Just tell me straight," she said, her fingers nervously tapping her cup. He swallowed hard, as if weighing the consequences of his next words. Finally, he admitted, "I might have made a mistake. A serious one." Lily felt a lump form in her throat. Mistake? Kane Ashby, the man she trusted with her heart and family, had made a mistake? "What do you mean?" she pressed, leaning closer. Kane's eyes darted around, and then he looked back at her, pained. "I can't explain everything yet, but it's about Victor Newman. And something that happened last week." Lily froze. Victor Newman? That could only mean trouble. Anything involving Victor was bound to shake the foundation of their lives. "Kane, you're scaring me. Tell me. Please," she implored. Kane's hands trembled slightly as he gripped the table. "I was approached by someone. They had information. Something dangerous. And he hesitated. "I did something I shouldn't have. Something I can't take back." Lily's mind raced. Could Kane be involved in one of Victor's schemes? Or had he uncovered something that could endanger their family? She could feel the walls closing in. "Kane, I need details. I can handle it. Whatever it is, we face it together," she urged. He shook his head, his eyes shadowed with guilt. "I wanted to protect you, Lily. I thought keeping it from you would keep you safe. But now, I don't know. I'm scared you'll never forgive me." The confession hung heavy in the air, thick with tension and unspoken fears. Lily's heart ached. Not just because Kane had been hiding something, but because she could sense the storm that his secret might unleash. "Kane, look at me," she said softly. "Whatever it is, we'll get through it. But you have to trust me. If you keep secrets, it'll only make things worse." He nodded, and for a brief moment, relief flickered in his eyes. But then he added, "I can't tell you everything yet, not until I'm sure it's safe. But I swear, Lily, the moment I can, you'll know everything." Lily's mind reeled. She had been through her share of secrets in Genoa City. From her father's manipulations to the dangerous schemes of the Newman family, she had learned that hiding the truth rarely protected anyone. And now Kane, her Kane, was playing a dangerous game of half-truths. "What do you mean by not safe?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly. Kane looked torn. "Victor, he's involved. And if he finds out I told anyone at all, it could ruin everything. It could ruin us." Lily's stomach churned. Victor Newman was a force of nature, and crossing him could indeed be catastrophic. But Kane's hesitation told her there was more. Something even more personal, something that could shake the very core of their family. "You have to tell me everything, Kane. I can't help if I don't know the full story," Lily insisted. He sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I know, Lily. I know. And I want to. But I need time. I need to figure out the right way to come clean, without endangering you, or the kids, or our future." Lily reached across the table, taking his hand in hers. "Kane, look at me. You're scaring me with silence. I love you, but secrets will destroy us faster than any enemy could. We need honesty now." Kane's eyes met hers, full of conflict and emotion. "I'll tell you everything soon, I promise. But you have to trust me until then. That's all I'm asking." The tension was palpable. Lily felt both anger and fear. She wanted to demand answers, but she also knew that Kane's protective instincts, even when misguided, were part of why she had fallen in love with him. He wasn't reckless. He was calculating, and sometimes that meant taking risks alone to keep the people he loved safe. "You have until tonight," Lily said firmly, trying to mask the trembling in her voice. "I'm giving you this one chance, Kane. If you can't be honest with me, I don't know if we can survive this." Kane nodded, visibly relieved yet still haunted. "I understand. I won't let you down." As Lily left Crimson Lights, Kane lingered, staring into his untouched coffee. The confession had been made, but the consequences were far from over. He knew the clock was ticking, and soon, Lily would demand the truth he had buried deep inside. A truth that could shake Genoa City to its core, a truth that might change everything between them, and with the Newman Empire. Back at the Chancellor Mansion, whispers of Kane's suspicious activities had already begun circulating. Victor, always watchful, had caught wind of Kane's recent interactions, and the tension between the two men was growing. One wrong move, one reveal, and the fallout would be explosive. Lily, meanwhile, tried to focus on her work, but every moment was haunted by Kane's words, the weight of his confession pressing down on her heart. She had faced challenges before, family betrayals, business betrayals, romantic entanglements, but this felt different. This was personal. This was Kane, the man she trusted most, keeping a secret that could destroy everything she held dear. The days stretched on with a sense of impending doom. Every call, every message, every shadowed glance seemed to hint at the truth Kane was hiding. Lily wondered, was it about money? Business? Or something even more dangerous, something that could threaten the life of someone she loved? As night fell, Lily's determination hardened. Whatever Kane was hiding, she would uncover it. Genoa City had never seen the full force of Lily Winters when pushed to the edge, and tonight, she was ready to confront Kane. The suspense was unbearable, the stakes higher than ever. And somewhere in the shadows, Kane prepared himself. The truth would come out tonight. Whether it would save them, or shatter them forever, remained a mystery. One thing was certain. In Genoa City, secrets never stay buried for long.